Yo, what going on? Y'all call my phone just to look at me? The hell? So you mean to tell me y'all call my phone just to look at me? What about? What I think about EFI? I feel like, I think, it could teach you to be ready to learn about certain interdimensional affairs that's been going on the planet. Robot, yeah, I'm saying like y'all just gonna look at me, yeah. No more lies. No more lie. You said no lies, so what's what I'm here for is the truth. Well, that's what you're here for, type shit. What's today's math? You gotta ask the 5%ers that. Robot, peace. That Black History Part 2? Maybe. What's up with Eli and Trump? Eli? You mean Elon? Alien Musk? Or Elon Musk? Big up, what's up? Yeah, okay, so there are a few things I want people to get understood moving forward into this very important time span called a year. No, 9 is not, or 2025 is not the completion year. It's not, how could it stop there? I don't know what people, all right, so here's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a 2,000 year period after a 4,000 year period, which gives you 6,000 years. You're leading up to a year 60-30, which is 2030, as some people say. This year is not the completion year. This is the year of you being sure. You have to be sure this year, but you will not be completed this year. This walk of ascension doesn't end this year. It won't be done. There is no so moted B clause of the year 2025. Even after your crown is activated, you still have to have that glow. Like the pictures they showed you when we were younger, with the fire floating over the head, and they were sitting around in the circles, the day of Pentecost, the disciples, all of that. You still have to go out and do the works of the chosen. Chosen people do chosen people works. Elect or elite do elite works. That's why I said this will be the year of boss moves. So all of that 2025 is the year of completion nonsense. That has to stop, because you got people in the mind that this is the cap or the lid when they have another 5-year period before the tip off of that 60-minute or 60-year clock has ran out, or the tape, as they call it. Tape runs out in the Illuminati card game, which they stole from Dr. Malachi York, by the way, because everything they were putting in the Illuminati card game was just stuff that Dr. Malachi York was talking about since the 70s. Hence the reason why a lot of those cards were talking about things that happened before they took place. And Dr. Malachi York was talking about things that happened before they took place. So no, this isn't the completion year. No, if you're going to say completion, what you're really saying is you're starting a stage, right? Or beginning a stage of things needed to be furthered, but not completed. It's not over. Read the book of Revelation chapter 10. There's a part where, I think Revelation chapter 10 verse 7, it says that the mystery of God will need to be finished or complete, totus, done. All right? We're not at that point yet. You with me? So all of you who are activating as 9 beings or putting your crown on, you have to protect your crown. I was just talking to somebody about literally 20 minutes ago, and I was explaining to them, listen, a lot of people are going to be going crazy this year. A lot of people are going to be losing their mind. They're not going to know what to do this year. It's already clear. A lot of people are going to see the calamities and catastrophes, natural disasters pending that will be coming, and people are going to be losing their mind. They're not going to know what's happening. So here's what you do. You do what the person in the Angel Has Fallen movie was telling Morgan Freeman's character, who was the president, to do. You keep walking. People are gonna fall. You don't fall. People are gonna be shook up under psychosis. You don't. You don't align with those people. When they wind up there, that's where they're at. You're going in a different direction. So no, 2 + 2 + 5 equaling 9 does not mean 2025 is about completion. This is about, are you sure? Oh, you said you were of the elect. Are you sure? Because once the 144,000 get on the mountain, what do? They just stood there? Or did they have a job to do? They came to sing a song, and that song was sang as if it were a new song that only the 144,000 could learn. I think a lot of people are forgetting that part. And when they say only the 144,000 can learn this song, I want you to understand that any song that you can think about can be learned by anybody. All right? ABC, that song can be learned by anybody. The national anthem was learned by everybody. We all could learn it. Any of these songs they put out, change is going to come. You can learn that. What type of song would you have to be a part of the 144,000 to learn? Can anybody tell me? What would that mean if I'm saying that there's going to be a song that only the 144,000 can learn, when anybody can just learn the song? What song would that be? Ask these people that and watch them glitch. They don't know what they're talking about. Only way you could be talking about a song that only the 144,000 could learn is if they were in their crown, meaning that they were telepathically inclined to be able to receive the messages that were being sent there in frequency, which is what the songs are. And that means they would be able to tell those messages to whoever the listeners would be, meaning these 144,000 were the new prophets. Are you understanding what I'm saying? And they were to speak before the end. Go look at the etymology of prophet, and you will see that it means to speak before. Right? So if they were to speak before the end, or sing the songs before the end and come back and teach, then that would mean that those 144,000 did not meet on the mountain, and that was the end. There would be wars and rumors of wars, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, kindred against kindred. Right? You will have people fighting each other. People will offend one another. All this will happen. This kingdom will fall. That earthquake will take place. All kind of stuff is going to happen. Yeah, we're right there in the hour. When all these things happen, what do they say? Don't worry. Don't fret. Why? Because the end is not near. The end is not yet. We haven't reached that end point. You understand? So saying this is the year of completion is misleading people, misguiding people, especially if you don't know how to explain it further. It can't be the end all be all. What is to come, and how will people prepare themselves? What is to come, and how will people prepare themselves? And if you're not explaining to people how to develop a psychic self-defense, then how are you preparing people? If you are somebody to prepare anybody. Because I think what happens is we get these platforms and we think the whole world is listening. For some reason, that's that grandeur, right? Most of the time you're not really talking to the whole world when you're speaking. Right now, I'm talking to 90 people. You understand what I'm explaining? Then those people are going to take, that's how this works. It's critical mass theory. Go look it up. Critical mass at one point in time would have been the 144,000, where they were saying this was a very specific group of people, a certain percentage of the whole population, who, after they were able to reach this achievement of awakening or achievement of ascension, they were going to be able to go out and touch 10,000 more people apiece. You understand? So 144,000 reaching 10,000 people apiece. After that, they would say, okay, this would have been going out into all the rest of the world to get everybody else prepared for this day and time, which is why Dr. Melchizedek explained that there are those who were supposed to be the 144,000 will be taken for 1,000 years and then return to teach more. I know everybody want to jump to the end, but the end is not yet. And if we're not yet at the end, then this is not the completion. It's not done. How could this be the end or the completion year when we have a 5-year window? And that window is there as a fail-safe for all of you who get here late. And now those of you who got here, you realize, okay, that piece by piece, second by second, time by time, you're able to see, no, Omari isn't playing. This is what I focus my time on. This is what I focus my brain on, figuring out how can I reach more people in time. I'm not playing. Right there in the line of my sight is a crown sitting there where we have a seat that was literally put up for Dr. Malachi York when everybody came here and gathered, what you see in the video for Can't Stay Here. You understand that? There's a crown sitting right there. And now we in that year where it's like the crown, protect the crown. Nebuchadnezzar, messengers, protect the crown. You need to have a psychic self-defense, or what's going to wind up happening is all these different, listen, how many people since you started walking, because it's going to answer what I'm saying, how many people since you started walking are able to see the different ways that psychosis has grabbed people? How many people are able to see that? Because the more you walk, and you'll be able to see. Psychosis has grabbed people. They're not able to move. They're stuck under their own belief systems, and some of the same things that were introduced to people to free their mind or wake them up are some of the same things that trap them. We just went through that whole Jamal-like situation, and I explained to people, listen, I'm not telling you there's no such thing as DEA. I'm asking you to explain what it is. Do you understand that there's not a single person that were following the jail that were able to come out and say, this is what DEA is? There's not a single person that could even explain deoxyribose. All right. There's not a single person that could explain how to separate the phosphate, the nucleotide, and say that these are the different components of DNA. And all you did was took out the middle part and just kept the deoxy and acid. It's not a single person. That means they were under an illusion. And if you point something out like that to them, they say you're tearing a black man down. That one thing may have been a situation, right? Y'all remember how many of the different lies that they have been taught that I had to go through and show people? And we don't even have time. If we would have dedicated more time to breaking down lie by lie by lie by lie by lie by lie, Rashad Jamal, we wouldn't be able to be on to the next things we on, because it's moving up. It's moving quicker. The time is speeding up exponentially. You really don't have as much time as you used to. I used to be able to spend more time on these things, and I joke about it. I can't spend that much time on it anymore. We could go through it, but it's like, how much time do you really have for these types of things where the time is speeding up exponentially and you're being pulled to the next thing and the next thing? And we just moved through the cooking kaya atmosphere, and we'll be over here. There's so many different places we're going to have to go, and you're going to realize that so many people are under so many different types of psychosis. You don't have to, somebody said, is Rashad Jamal a fraud? You don't have to call him a fraud. Are you the truth? Is your focus more on whether or not he's a fraud or whether or not you're the truth? Are you the truth? Are you one of the elect? Not is he a devil? I'll tell you, yeah, he's a devil. I'll tell you, yeah, he's a liar. And we showed you that over there. So what? Now what? He's a liar, he's a devil, and whatever else he want to be. Now, what about you? Are you one of the ones who got their crown on? Or is it about Rashad? Or is it about Faise? Or is it about this person, that? Or do you have your crown on? I can't have it on for you. You understand? Saying we scuba diving and we're going down into the depths of the water, and I got on my gear. Do you have on yours? I can't have on my oxygen tank for you. You with me? I can't pass this test for you. So I think it was very clear that it doesn't matter what method of communication he wanted to use. He was not able to stand with me factually or truthfully, because one thing a deceiver don't like is when you pull the wool back and show who they are. They don't like that. You become everything in a book at that moment. And that's what I became. Everything in a book, whatever book he was reading from. He wasn't reading out of the truth book, which is why I took it page by page and showed y'all. My point is, those people, a lot of those people may be under psychosis until that final hour is up. They may never recover. And this is the issue. So when we show up, we're like, listen, I'm going to tell you this way, this way, this way. You can either decide to go or you can decide to stay. What you going to do? And a lot of people will stay. You with me? So my point is, how many people are observing that a lot of the things that were supposed to be breaking people free, a lot of the types of concepts that people were introducing to people are the same things that were breaking them free, the same concepts that kept them trapped. And this is spoken from a future standpoint, a future tense. That's what kept people trapped. Their psychosis and their unwillingness to understand that they were suffering from it. They weren't able to recover. So then how do you move forward? So I'm telling y'all, those of you who are going to keep walking no matter whoever drops, protect your crown. Keep your crown protected. If you don't, then whatever comes, comes. What do you mean, Omari? I mean, when they tell you look left, you run right. Haven't I been telling y'all that for years? When they tell you to panic, don't panic. When they tell you don't panic, pay more attention. You with me? Whatever it is that they saying and putting out here in this media and politics, you either do the opposite or you find the center to figure out which way. You do what the wise ones do. When people get to shooting, you don't run with the crowd, do you? Most people do, though. So either I'm talking to the elect or I'm not. You don't run with the crowd. That's the stupidest thing you could do. Active shooter, they're going to go for the person that's running off to the distance by themselves, or they're going to shoot into a crowd if their intention was to hit people. So why would I be running with a crowd? You won't find me running with a crowd. If you see me running somewhere, possibly it's because of the fact that a crowd is running in the opposite direction. You don't go off the cliff just because you saw a million people go off of the cliff. You with me? What you do is you find the right way. You stop, you assess, you listen to what it sounds like, you find out what a target is. If you're in position to neutralize, you neutralize. If you're not, you evade. That's how you get out of that type of situation. And that type of situation is happening out here every day. So my message on here today was real quick. I got to go to class in a little bit. Is to protect your crown. Psychic self-defense. Don't believe anybody. All right. In that video, Dr. York 1992, you will notice he was wearing a purple shirt. You're now in the purple light. It's a beautiful light. I'm telling you. It's a calm light. It's a relaxing light, unless you have not made the decision that you're going to be up here. You would have had to make the decision that this is where you're going to operate from. Doesn't mean that there are not going to be beings trying to reach up and pull you back down. This is where you need to be at. Meaning, if you notice, you see the blue and the purple too. What is it that you're saying? Are you speaking truth? And when you speak truth, does it pull people out of darkness? Or when you speak what you think is truth, is it putting people further into it? You understand? So protect your crown. No more lies. No, this is not the completion year. You're in a completing window. The mystery being finished window. And it's really a reenactment of something that has already occurred. We've already gone through this, by the way. You understand? In the beginning of the year 2000, we went through this already. Now we out here again. Omari is older. I'm 26 years old. I'll be 27 in the 9 year. I was 26 in the 8 year. 25 in the 7. Do you understand how I'm keeping up with the time, or do I need to do more math for you? My point is, you have to have your crown on for it to activate. And then you have to be able to protect your crown. Don't think just because you got it on, now it's like, oh, okay, now I'm that's it. All I needed to do was just be elect. 141,000 have to be telepathically inclined to receive the messages. It can't just be me. When E.T. points to Elliot's forehead and said, I'll be right there. Right? He's saying he's going to communicate telepathically. So there's some things you got to be open to be able to receive or hear or pick up on. If not, then what happens when I'm not speaking? Do you know what's being said? When I don't speak, do you know what words are? And I love to be able to point out events that do occur that align with what I say. That way you'll understand, if I'm not speaking, what you can read. You with me? So there's a lot of good things moving right now. Just make sure you're a part of the people who got their crown protected. I needed to hear this. I've been having urge to go back to my vices lately, but I'm holding on to that road. Yeah, I think most people are dealing with that. I can hear y'all. Most people may be dealing with that. Now, though, like the same way you say you have an urge to go back, listen to how you're saying it. You're saying you got an urge to go back. You with me? That means you've already made progress, family. If you're saying you have an urge to go back to it, that means you ain't in it no more. So that's a good thing. Not saying that the urge is a good thing. The fact that your position has shifted and changed, that means your state has also. That means this works. That means Nuwapu works. And all it took was authenticity. There are a lot of people, thousands of people, who've messaged me all kinds of stuff, and they've changed their life around. They're no longer relying on any of these things to get themselves through. Now, that's not to put people down who may still be dealing with it. What I'm saying is, The moment you even decide that it's not for you, you're speeding up. And then you have to do what's called follow through. You with me? And your follow through is what's going to separate you from the talker and the doer. You know what I mean? Thinkers, talkers, doers. A lot of people think they should get better. A lot of people talk about getting better. A lot of people, and then a few people get better. You understand? So that's why I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. He said, oh, I had an urge to go back. That's good. Now that you know that that's an urge, you can identify it, okay, let that be what it was, an urge to go back, and salute yourself for being in a position to even have the option to go back. But some people may not have that option right now. They're trying to figure out what to do to move forward so there would be a back option. You got to look at all things, different angles. So my point is, you see Dr. Malachi York with that purple on. He says, don't believe anybody. He's on Mount Zion or Mount Zion. This is where we at. Go read my book, How to Love Again. You'll see where we at when I'm talking about that Zion as opposed to Zuin. Read Rehab and you hear me talking about being born on a mountaintop. Okay, now you in that crown time. Okay, so this year is the year of the prophet. And prophets have to be able to hear. You understand? If you can't hear the word of the Most High, you're not going to be able to speak the word of the Most High. You with me? It's not about a claim. It's not about saying this and trying to be right. It's about, did you hear that? You'll know you're in the seat of the prophet when you get a message you don't want to tell people because you know they ain't going to like to hear it. If you get messages you think everybody going to want to hear, that may be ego. That may be you overstanding marketing. When you get into that seat, and I'm not calling myself a prophet because I don't have to. You know what I mean? There's an outdated way of thinking to think I would need to call myself something that I do. All right? I don't need to call myself a prophet. I don't need that word. I'm just telling you this is the year of those who will speak before that time period of the window closing. Which means what? I can't be preparing you for 2025 alone. I have to be giving you a 5-year plan. It can't be just, oh, this is over with. Then what happens? In the year 2026, what comes next? When they add up the numbers, 2, 2, and 6, and they get 10, what is that number for? It don't stop at just adding up numbers. What, did we start it over? Oh, 10, this is the year of fuck it. We restarting. You understand? No. So it's readable. But I guess if I don't speak, people don't understand it because they didn't know 2024. But everything I said for 2024 came to pass, right? They didn't know 2023. Everything I said, they didn't even know 2022. You heard nobody say nothing like that. And now we're in 2025. The issue is you think it stops at the numbers. You know what I mean? So, again, my point is they're going to say reset. Watch what I'm telling you. They're like, oh, we're starting over at 1 again. Why? What are you talking about? No, I could give you the science of that, but then watch, they gonna run with that. So just binary. But then what? Then you say that, then they don't understand it. It will be superposition because this is the quantum year. It's also the quantum year. You're gonna hear more about quantum technology this year. So yeah, 10, but 1 and 0 would not still be 9. It would be a binary, but it would be the acknowledgement of a left and a right of a binary, which is superposition. Which is you being in motion. You're no longer saying I just have a crown. Now you're doing the works that yield the interdimensional realities, meaning you're bringing heaven to earth. But how are you gonna do that if you only have one understanding of one light? You gotta be binary. You understand? Which means you're in the center, and the center is literally saying the dot or the superposition. Now watch, we're gonna get there too. They went, oh, to 10 is start over, because that's all they're gonna be able to think. Not knowing 10 is not a number. Yeah, so, but they adding up things in accordance to 20s. They haven't even looked at the 60. 60, 25, what happens then? You understand? So all I'm saying is everything we solving for people is really happening down there. You come up here, you start realizing we're going toward the 9, which is 60-30, right? Well, how can I explain that to people that ain't came up here yet? So my point is, I got to go to class, all right? Protect your crown, all right? Psychic self-defense. Don't believe anybody, and anything you look into, it must be useful scientifically, all right? Peace in the Lamb. It's truly wonderful. Wadu. Hadus Ashuk.